Good morning. We try again. 1 second. All right. So, good morning, you guys. It's 10 o'clock. It's Morning Oasis. We are on the 7th. I was just actually doing some music and meditation time. I'm going to turn off my cell phone. Like to set my intention. That's something that we don't talk too much about on here, is how we set our intentions of how we use our technology, how we show up in an environment, what kind of presence do we want to have there? How do we want our interaction to be able to lace with each other? And one of the things I always know my people, because they take an intention with their phone. They'll turn it off, they'll stick it down in their pocket or off the side. And when somebody just puts it on the table between us, a little piece of my soul just goes, oh, with that phone right there between us. It's kind of like, really? Can we not do phones right now? Can we get away from technology? And that was the beautiful, beautiful thing yesterday. Man, I got off Morning Oasis and it was off technology and interstellarly. It was amazing. Such an amazing day. How did you guys like Hannah Neal, by the way? How did you like having Hannah Neal here? Isn't she just so lovely? Oh, okay. Hi, Shauna. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. I'm going to be seeing Shauna on Friday. Yay. We'll be going down there. Yes. Oh, hi, Jesse. Hi. It's been too long. Okay. So, here's the announcements. We're starting to get, more clear on who's going to be at the fair. We are still, one of the problems with metaphysical people, and I'm going to just throw this out there because I love you all. I really do. And one of the most important things and the hardest things that we struggle with is getting onto a schedule and taking care of the logistical human things. But part of being a bridging consciousness means you must bridge the metaphysical world and into the physical world. So sometimes you got to fill out things like applications. So, so far with the applications that we have gotten back and the people that we know are for sure going to be there at the fair, we have Amanda Richards, who's going to be doing henna and energy work. Oh, I don't know if she just got sent hers though. She's going to be doing henna and energy work. She's going to be doing henna mandalas and images and symbols and whatever she feels guided to put wherever on your body so that you can help tune and bring in that energy and that frequency. And she's a very gifted artist in so many ways. She's a musician, a country singer, a songwriter, a actress, an artist, working with all these different mediums. Good morning, Karen. So she is truly brilliant. I absolutely love her. She's going to be doing henna work. We've got Katarina Kahan. I think it's Kahan. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your last name, Katarina. She has Peaceful Pond is the name of her practice, and she's one of those people, she just channels this energy. It's a blue fire that she feels just flowing through her, and an unconditional love energy. And right now she's in the stage in her own development where she can do it distance, but her preference, yes, Alex, you can. Her preference can be is right now to do it in person. She's going to be doing hand sessions, and she's also trained in Mayan abdominal massage. So this is a great way to try out somebody who really bridges those two worlds if you're curious about that. I think Karen also asked for a card pull. If I missed anybody else asking, just ask again. Let's see. So Teresa Wolf Silva is going to be there. I've already mentioned her before, I think, in that she does runes and she talks with the dead. She's like, most of my clients are dead. Yes, Kristen, perfect. Those are our 3. Thanks, ladies. Okay. And she'll be there at the fair. We've got Ricky Hawthorne, who we referenced yesterday or referred to as the oyster lady. You can buy an oyster and she'll pop it open, and if there's pearls inside, you can buy rings or pieces of things that you can put the pearls and mount them in, and all kinds of cool stuff. And, let's see. Oh, Karen Brooks is going to be there. She does a shamanic forest walk forest path walk, or I think it's called, sessions. So and uses Reiki Fire. She's going to be doing her own work there. So there's a lot of stuff. Hannah Neal's probably won't be there, but I'm going to work on her. We're going to be doing this every day, every month. So get used to it. This is going to be a healing pathwalker event. And I really, my whole dream for it, and I'm sure Shauna's too, we haven't actually put this language together, but I want to create a space that we can come together as a tribe. So, come down, bring your trinkets or your toys, or let us see your tools, or, let's just come and play with us and check out our session work if you're interested. And then, of course, there's Shauna and I. And you guys know me. Is there always a pearl inside, Shauna? Something is in my throat. Oh, yes, card pulls. But I was going to tell you guys, after all that ancestral work with Hanna Neal last night and yesterday, she stayed until last night. We got a lot of time together. It really opened things up for me, opening those doors and opening up that space. And it's so funny when you come together with people who are doing this kind of work and living in this way, committed to this lifestyle. What really happens is you witness what it looks like to embody it in another way from yourself. And it's this total confirmation of your own work. And for Hanna Neal and I, if you don't know our story, we came together about 2 years ago, and it changed both of our lives. I had been training in an energy working program, and she had been self-teaching, and I just was leaving my program and really branching out fully on my own. And just the coming together of herself and I, and then of course an incorporation of Brandon, it was a really powerful time of my life. And then all three of us just kind of went, when we had to go our own ways. And it's when you can check back in with somebody that was so instrumental at a part in your life, then you can see how we're still on the same path. We have all these parallels and these crossover points. And that's one of the reasons I think it's so important to have tribe and have community, because we often are very alone in our individual life. She lives in Vancouver, Shauna lives in Salem. My two most powerful allies in this work. God, my throat. Somebody's got something going on in the throat? Yeah, somebody does. So if you're the person who has this really strong throat thing going on, just pause and ground. And everything it is that you're wanting to say in the throat, just bring it. Imagine there's a golden ball around that throat, and bring that golden ball like a big old thought bubble with all the words, and just bring it down into the heart, and just let it sit down here in the heart, and feel all it is that you want to communicate, and communicate that with the heart energy, just in this time and space. Much better. Doesn't that feel better? Yeah, just let that flow. And I mean, all of us can use this. I'm sure I needed it. Yeah, I needed to get more into my heart too. So thank you. Perfect reminder. Okay, so anyway, yeah, it was beautiful being witnessed. And let's see, I think Karen, you asked for card pulls first. Karen had to ground. I was so excited by yesterday. It was like being an extinct being and finding another. Yeah, Hanna Neal is quite amazing, honestly. She's one of my faves. I absolutely love and adore her. And I told her, I'm like, you need to come on Morning Oasis more often. Then I surprised you guys with her. I didn't announce it to anybody, did I, that she was coming? I can't remember. Okay, so Karen, I am fumbling it today. I tell you what. Did any of you guys notice that I came in like 3 minutes early for just a minute? And it won't let you end the video until you have been on for a certain amount of time. And I'm not even, it was very funny. Okay, and I think what we'll end up working on today, well, let's see how the cards align into it, and then I'll tell you what I had an idea of working on. But right now, we're going to do Galactic Heritage cards with Karen. And Hannah, Neal, and I, afterward, one flew out. And you guys know I don't normally drop cards like that. That's crazy. It's been Fumbleina for sure. Lots of different energies are talking. Oh, I thought you did. Funny. Yeah, I guess you need one. Oh, isn't that funny? You got card number 66. Yeah, so Hannah, Neal, and I did a reading with these. And the beauty of these cards is they really are tapping you into a consciousness stream, like a frequency. So it can be a tuning if you take up the opportunity of it. Okay, so card number 66, sharing cultural ideas, present Pleiades. Pleiadians are enthusiastic cosmic anthropologists. They love studying other cultures and interacting with them. Part of this is sharing the Pleiadian culture with other species, as well as, hold on, my brain. Let's see. Part of this is sharing the Pleiadian culture with other species. This is never to dictate what is right or wrong, but purely for the purpose of exchanging ideas. This natural curiosity is also within you. And this card is suggesting that you embrace this part of yourself a bit more. Don't be afraid to explore and share with others what you've learned, but do so from a place of neutrality and genuine loving kindness. Know that the ideas that you share will help others on their spiritual journeys. This card refers to a time in the Pleiadian history when the spread of their cultural ideas through the galaxy family, the galactic family, but never in a forceful way. Human history has shown that when evolved groups contact primitive groups, such as the Spaniards and the native peoples of Mexico, there is a tendency to conquer and wipe out the established indigenous culture. This issue is an important one for humans to heal, because once humans move out into space, that type of behavior will not be compatible with the galactic community's protocols. An essential step in human evolution is to allow everyone to embrace their own culture and beliefs, and to celebrate that diversity. If you pulled this card, it could mean many different things depending on the surrounding cards. So we'll pay attention to the other cards today. And your individual criticism. It may mean that you have a Pleiadian lifetime in which you were one of these cultural engineers who celebrated diversity, and now you serve the function of bringing together different peoples and sharing ideas with no judgment or forcing of beliefs. It could also mean the opposite. Perhaps it is a warning to stop trying to push your beliefs onto others. Or maybe someone is doing that to you. And the message is to stand firm in your right to have your own beliefs and to celebrate that difference. So I would recommend using your compass to navigate in this realm of things as you communicate. Look at the surrounding cards and your current circumstances to understand the meaning more. So what really pops for me is, well, first of all, you're totally, no, there is music playing in the background, Jesse. I started adding music, and we're looking, Kyle's putting together some music that will be just Oasis music, the morning Oasis music. I was supposed to put that up today, but I couldn't find it in I save things in the best places in my hard drive, and with all intention of being able to find them again, and I have no idea where they are. Okay, so this is really going to be an important piece because the Pleiadians do have a very strong cultural filter. One of the things that we don't really talk about when we talk about the Pleiadians is that they are actually a conglomerate. They're not like one species. They're not like humans. There's many different races and planets. It's a region. It's a cluster of planets and star systems. So each star has its own individual source consciousness, which means that that's a collective of source consciousnesses and their peoples is what makes the Pleiadians. The same is true with the Orions, right? These systems right? So that means that their creation is in a state of multiplicity of expression and really living that multiplicity. And so, you're bringing that awareness in, and this is really important, I think, for all of us. I think all of us need to really understand this, because what just came through yesterday for me, and as I'm beginning to hear, back from, because, all of us, when this stuff comes in, it is powerful and it knocks you on your ass. And whether you're with a friend or you're at a meeting, you're going to get knocked on your butt, and you have to sit back and just receive. And that was what happened to me yesterday. I'm hearing back from some of my other really close workers and friends and peers and colleagues and all of that. So far now I've heard from 4 who yesterday was a big impactful day energetically. Even Tiffany posted that it was a portal entry and portal opening. I've had people talking about Mary and Jesus and core archetypal consciousnesses, and Hanna and I were tapping into that splitting creation consciousness. It was a huge day yesterday. So I bet all of you guys feel a little bit of an energetic hangover. But remembering, one of the things the Pleiadians kind of really struggled with was their individuation, still seeing themselves in individuated instances and not as much the collective as, say, like the Vegas or the mantises, or those beings that are truly hive-like and collective. Yeah, I'm sure. So we have to remember that it's the balance between the individuation and the unity and the full consciousness. And as one who comes in with that native, inherent, programmed into your star DNA, your soul DNA, that you're going to be doing that work. So we have to be very careful. I'm kind of that way as well. And one of the things I have to make sure I'm always in allowance for is for other people's perspectives to come in and to be completely different from mine, and recognize that that's actually my opportunity to learn. And I always have to balance that. Am I here in the teacher-learner role, or am I here in the learner-teacher role whenever I feel confused? And it's always an interplay, right? Always an interplay. So if you're feeling unclear, and this is for everybody, if you're feeling unclear navigating those waters of, am I talking too much, or should I be listening right now, or should I be sharing right now? Am I supposed to speak up? Navigating those is confusing. So having a tool like the compass that we use in Morning Oasis and in the series, in the Life Mastery and Let It Flow, that tool is really critical to have developed and have trust in it. So that when it comes to those times where you're really not sure how you should show up, but you can feel the pivotalness of that moment, and what you have to say might be the frequency that whips everything around. You never know. So play with that and navigate that, because we just went through some big energy. I'm guessing all of you are shifting and starting to see your roles a lot more clearly. Just beginning to see, oh, this is how I'm supposed to show up and be of community and be of service and help. We are all opening up more and more and more right now. So that's another piece of this sharing cultural ideas that needed to come through. Let's see what other cards. And it feels like actually all the pulls are going to come from the Galactic deck. Kind of felt like that earlier. So that was Karen. Next is Alex. Alex, I can't wait till you come. It's going to be an amazing time down there. The most coolest, awesomest people are going to be down at that eclipse event at Shauna's. Okay. Oh, interesting. Well, this will be no surprise for you, Alex, and really all of us, honestly. It's card number 17. It is Lyran Present, and it's called Pushing the Envelope. Let's see. There we go. A Lyran trait that humans share is the need to push the envelope, to force ourselves to go beyond limitations. This is what drove them and us to always grow more. Beyond the laws of physical, beyond current technology, and beyond physical endurance, this can be a good quality when a breakthrough is desperately needed. However, this trait can become obsessive and can cause us to never resist and always push ourselves to exhaustion. This most likely has been a karmic pattern of yours for many lifetimes, and now it's time to let it go. Your self-care is more important than pushing the envelope. The theme refers to the human and Lyran tendency to become single-minded and sometimes ego-driven, pushing ourselves beyond our limits in order to accomplish a goal. While this can at times be an admirable quality, it can also severely hamper our evolution and keep us stuck in actions driven by ego. When we're stuck in these ego-driven tendencies, it becomes impossible to connect with our higher nature and evolve beyond the limitations of ego. On the other hand, this card may be giving you a message to push yourself harder when you're afraid, thus acting as encouragement for you. Do you tend to give up your goals too easily? If so, this card may be encouraging you to focus, to trust, and to keep going. It may also be giving you a message that you can learn to grow quite a bit by going beyond your perceived limitations. Only by looking at the surrounding cards as well as looking honestly within yourself can you ascertain the meaning of this enigmatic card and apply it to your life. This was a major lesson for the Lyrans during this phase of their development, when to push harder and when to let go. Ultimately, when faced with species evolution, it is a delicate balance. Eventually, however, consciousness transcendence happens at the point of surrender. This is a lesson Earth humans are currently facing on a personal and on a planetary level. For sure, Alex. And really, honestly, it is so important for all of us to remember this right now, because, the reality is that we each are coming holding our own pillar, our own leg of this greater platform with which humanity is leaping off of into this next space. And it doesn't make our job any better or us any better for being a leg on a platform or a plank on that platform. It just makes that our job. And you got to do a good job at it. People aren't sitting there celebrating the bottom people in a pyramid of humans. They're usually looking at that one on top, but they couldn't be up there if there wasn't a strong base below. So, always make sure wherever you're showing up at, whatever your job is, you're showing up in that job, but you've got to take care of yourself if you want to be a good leg, a good plank. And definitely, Alex is one of those, she doesn't talk very much about it, but she is definitely energetically an envelope pusher, lives on the edge of that, and until she had to, basically leap off the edge. And that took her right back into the grounded area. And so now that just because your focus is that grounded area, and now you're like, okay, how do I do this human crap? Okay, fine, I'm here. There's still this in you too. So keep bringing that through, pulling that through. And that's really true for all of us. Doing the human parts as well as all the other stuff we're here to do. It can be rough. I know. I struggle. By the way, the music that I'm playing in the background today, I had it a little quieter. I don't know if it's too quiet. But I posted it in the group. So if you want to be able to play it in your background or continue listening to it or use it in any way or know what it is, it's there. You guys are going to laugh when you see this one. All right. These cards definitely wanted to talk to us and remind us of a few things as we travel down our journey. Okay, card number 42, it is the Pleiadian past. It's blind enthusiasm. And by the way, this card is for Kristen, but, you're just serving for it to come up for us all. Oh, great. Let's see, a habitual pattern of the Pleiadians when they were a young species. I'll bring this up closer because there's a lot of information, really, as you look more and more at these cards. A habitual pattern of the Pleiadians when they were a young species was to become very excited about an idea and implement it without thinking it all the way through. What are the far-reaching implications of the actions Who benefits and who is hurt? Take a good look at the times you may have done this in your current life. In the eyes of the universe, there are no mistakes. However, everyone has the responsibility to see beyond their own excitement and try to make choices that support the whole rather than simply their own ego's desires. Alex says it's hard to be human, and I still don't get the point, but I'm trying my best. Thanks, doll. I can't wait to learn how to have fun on our visit. Oh yeah, we'll have fun. We'll have fun. We'll play. We're going to play and explore. Okay, this card also connects with the other cards in this era, and it references some other cards. A time when the Pleiadians were a young species and were idealistic and enthusiastic. Like a great big puppy, they often excitedly bounced from one plan to another without thinking things through. I am so guilty of this, and Shauna will tell you because she's usually on the other end of that leash of that great big puppy that's leaping around so excitedly. Like, she can attest to that. Sometimes offending or hurting those on the other end of their plans. It is a quality of most young people and species, and though lessons learned, we eventually grow out of it. The Pleiadians today still have a tremendous amount of enthusiasm, but it isn't so blind any longer. They have learned patience, temperance, and respect in regards to others. One of the significant signs of a matured person or species is that they can make decisions with their eyes fully open and never infringe on the rights of others and force a reality on others or become self-centered in their plans. This is really true. It used to be that I was just like, every idea that came into my head I thought was a brilliant one, and I'm like pop, pop, pop all over the place. And I had all these friends that never could really connect with each other. It was always like go there. Everything was really fragmented because I was also all over the place, and I was fragmented in my consciousness. I had to do that fractured state work and come into wholeness, do that Kinsukuri healing, which I absolutely love and is part of the life mastery as well. But you can also do that as an individual healing session. And just had to kind of like do all this work to get to this place. And now, as the ideas flow, I know instead, okay, I'm going to jot them down, or I jot them down either in reference to a chat with Shauna or in my idea book or on my notepad, my clipboard. And then I can go back and kind of look at them. And I don't make any decisions in the flow state, the idea flow state. I just flow all the ideas out there, and then what hooks, what's engaging, what connects, what makes me look down a few steps into the future, what gives me excitement. That's how I make decisions about what I want to do, how I want to move forward, what kind of action I need to take next, what my next steps are. So let's see. The Pleiadians have achieved this state, but humans are not quite there yet. If this card has come up in your readings, look to the other cards to see if it might be a Pleiadian karma or memory of yours. Are there other cards with similar theme? It may be a simple warning about your actions in your life as a human. So let's look at the cards that we got today. The first one was sharing cultural ideas. So really, as we bring all this different information, all of our, every single person that I meet in this tribe, the one thing, well, we share so many things, but one of the common themes is that we're explorers. We have been exploring human culture, human history, anthropology, science, consciousness work, medicine, anything we can get our hands on. That's a unique quality that we as a tribe collectively share. Now, we did that because as individuals, we can go out and pull so much information. But if we block the information from coming through by each other's egos of trying to prove their perspective or that their information is more valuable, or for fear of not being of value enough, so must overshare, or whatever it may be, there are so many ways that we express this. we have to work on those issues that prevent us from receiving other cultural ideas that aren't subject of our study, right? As we come together to share all of our collective information. And I'm saying this because I think every single one of you guys are going to start finding your way together now. You're going to find yourself coming together in bigger and bigger groups. And how do we do that? How do we have these exchanges, sharing the cultural information, pushing the envelope of reality and consciousness, even our own? Always challenging even our own. That's going to be in and of itself a tricky thing, right? We're tricky with our belief systems, our subconscious belief systems, what proof we believe that we need in order to be able to continue to do the work, what faith we actually have in our work. This is all critical. And the blind enthusiasm, which just keeps us on the path, even when everything is telling us it's the wrong way to go, right? So we all have to face these things. This is the human struggle, the human condition, and it comes from our ancestry, the Pleiadians and the Lyrans, right? The Lyrans are also part of our ancestry, where the Pleiadians are trying to understand and find the beauty and find the precision, and they're very much about they're artists and creators, and the Lyrans, they're just more reactive, responsive. They're living, they're breathing, they're full of the fire energy, that creation. So we're bringing these two consciousnesses, and also, by the way, it would behoove all of you who watch this program in meditation to connect with these guys. So just like yesterday, we had we used an ancestral door. Today, how about we build our galactic door? Okay, the next meditation series that's going to be coming out I want to have them all kind of set up so they can come out, is going to be connecting to your angelic consciousness, and then after that is connecting to your galactic consciousness. So we're not going to do the full connection and all of that. I think this is that first step, getting you guys talking to your galactic consciousnesses more clearly, with more intention, with more focus. I think that's perfect, a perfect thing to do. So how about we do that for the rest of today? How's that sound? And what I wanted to talk about before we slip into doing that, and perhaps we'll also work on this in the meditation in just a few minutes. What I wanted to also mention, yesterday we talked about ancestral work. We talked a lot about how it can impact you, how these things can come into manifestation in all these different ways in your life, showing up in your energy, in illness, showing up with patterns of relationships, showing up with patterns of situationals that are going on around you and repeating over and over and over. So we talked about a lot of that. And we connected in with those ancestral guardians. But what we didn't do is really actually address the wounds, or how do you do it? How do you do that kind of addressing? I'm not going to teach that in here, because that's big work. That's really big work that we would need a bigger platform of time, right? That's why the classes are there and the workshops are there. But what I am going to say is, all the pieces that you have been bringing in for your own healing, whether it's genetic healing, sound healing, acupuncture, or meditation, or Reiki, all of those different things are just permission slips so that you can believe you can do magic on your body. So the best advice I can give you when you're doing any kind of ancestral work is, whatever you feel inspired to do, even if it seems as ridiculous as a snurgly hose dropping from heaven that can suck or can blow, and can suck everything out and blow everything in, use it. These are the tools that you're being guided, that you're being shown, that you have been on a breadcrumb path for your whole life to find. And you can heal yourself of anything that you discover in this way. Okay, so believe that you can do magic. That's the best thing you can do when you're trying to do any kind of healing work. Your imagination is your greatest tool in doing magic. If you can imagine it, you can make it. That's the most important thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me, yeah, we're going to use this. Do we need anything else? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, I love this one. Okay. We're going to focus in, and I'm just checking to make sure there's no other frequency that'll support at this time in addition. So we're going to be tuning into Ganesh. If you have a Ganesh, tune into the consciousness, elephant consciousness. Here's little Ganesh. Ganesh is a remover of obstacles. He's one that can stir things up and create chaos, but also clears it out. Like a tornado can destroy quite a bit, but it also just sweeps things completely off the face, just scours the face. So he kind of has a little bit of that energy, and we're going to use some of that. Again, somebody has something they want to say right now. This is the time to receive. So in this moment, unless you want to throw it out there really quickly, put it in that golden ball and drop it down into the heart, because it's really, whenever we have anything that we want to say, it's most important for us to actually listen to it. It's the only way that we give ourselves permission to give ourselves our own advice, is by believing somebody else needs that advice. Just throwing that out there. So the energy of this is a cedar. This is cedar sap. It's from my first sweat lodge experience, which was so powerful. It has such a clean, beautiful cedar smell. We're going to use this as a cleansing frequency and ego cleansing, really. It's that golden yellow. To me, this is the color of my chakra, my solar plex. I do have a bit of my orange coming up into my yellow sacral energy bleeding into my solar plex, but I want my individuation to be creative and fiery and passionate. So that's, for me, that's a choice about my frequency tuning of my chakra. So we're going to use this. Just imagine that this is just over your third eye. We're just going to cleanse, just like you're cleaning and cleansing. Just imagine you can feel this as I just cleanse. We're going to be doing some vision work as we connect in and open that door today. And just bring in, blowing in that fresh, clear sap, cedar consciousness. Cedar trees are fast and soft and strong, and they work together on these fibers all interlaying with each other. Just using that clearing. So now go ahead and just really come into the conscious, into the now, into the breath. Breathing the breath into the body and releasing. Not trying to tell the breath how it's supposed to be, just experiencing how it is. Not concerned with matching or pairing, or being deeper in the breath or shallow. Just feeling what is. Very good. And imagine that each breath that you take in, each oxygen molecule, attached molecules, we're going to just see them in that big, bright blue color, like a bright blue orb that you're breathing in. And imagine your lungs expanding and absorbing all those little blue balls of light, as the balls drop into the heart and then get pumped, whoosh, as they go through the arteries, as they go through these branches of veins and arteries and all the way out to the capillaries and looping back. Just see those blue balls of light going through the whole body, up through the brain, into the organs, into the muscles. And see how they just shift in color from that blue into that deeper, darker color, almost like a black, as they receive from all of those cells everything that's ready to leave the cell, and see them whoosh back on those veins, all the way back into the heart, back into the lungs, and exhaling those dark black balls out. Breathing in the bright, clean, blue balls of light. Sending them all the way to the fingertips in that quick, efficient, beautiful, elegant system of our circulatory system, cardiovascular system. Releasing all those black balls with everything that we've used. Envisioning the cedar tree next to you, or whatever tree. And see that tree breathing in all those little black balls of light, so necessary for that tree. Breathing it in, going through its vascular system, using it to convert the sunlight into little balls of blue light. See how the tree does the exact opposite of what you did. As it is your shadow, your unconscious, just growing, evolving, shading. And feel yourself in that infinite cycle of breath with the tree. Just looping it back and forth as that rich golden light comes in. Seeing your need of the other, your oneness with it. As expressive as you need to be, it is as calm. Just flow in that space. When I want to connect in with another consciousness, a tree is a great place to start and really learn how to listen and receive from it. Because a tree speaks so much, but it's really hard for us to hear. And when we begin connecting with these galactic consciousnesses, they don't usually speak at all. They just send their thoughts, their feelings, their ideas, their connection through the frequency and the space between you, and you receive it. Learning discernment of energy is critical in being able to interpret and talk with them. So just bring on that energy of that tree and ask that tree what it wants to share with you. What does your tree need to share with you? Using the cedar to listen. Good. Now we're going to use the apophyllite This is an apophyllite cluster with a third eye piece on it. We've used this before. Go ahead and tune in to the apophyllite. Tune in to the eye. Imagine it just touching your forehead. If you want to actually touch your forehead to the screen, you can, but you don't need to. Remember, you can do magic and feel that frequency radiating into your third eye. In this time, in this space, allowing you to clearly connect in to the infinite consciousness, the oneness. Not only connect into it, but bring that vibration all the way through the vessel. Just like those little blue balls of light find their way all through the vessel. You're going to use the apophyllite to bring this energy all the way through. This clarity, this consciousness, this awareness, the connection that we're about to open, creating a space with intention for that creation of connection, energy, and frequency. Now you have seen your ancestral door, and I hope you all are inspired to play with this concept. I want you to see next to that your galactic portal or galactic door. For me, it's just open. It's a wide open portal, but yours can be whatever you want. Maybe you need to have a security pad where it's your print, so you know it's when you open that doorway, it's yours. You're reaching, you're connecting, you're sending. For some of you, that feels important. You can do that. You can do magic. For some of you, it's wide open. You're just like, bring it. I'm curious. What's out there? Remember, it's just like calling into downtown on a payphone. You don't know who will pick up. Set some intentions. I want those who come to my door to be coming to participate in my greatest creation, my matrix, to guide me, to support me, to love me, to bring more joy and gratitude into the creation I strive to build, to support me in my deconstruction of my evolution, in my cyclical process, serving me, bringing me more clarity of focus, of sight, of awareness. What other intentions do you want to set for your connecting space into your galactic families? That you want to only connect with family, only connect with other strands of yourself living in these lives of this frequency? You can tune your door, you program it to anything you want. Open up your imagination and allow your awareness, your knowledge, your guidance to help support you in creating this most clean, clear portal of connection, doorway of connection for you. Good. And now as you look at that doorway, I want you to smile at the doorway, at the portal, and watch the energy of that portal shift even more. Just smile at it. And think of how grateful you're going to be with the connections that you have. How loving, how much love you want to send to those connections. The frequency you want to bring to the connection of balance, awareness, respect, gratitude, submission, release. Just shine that onto the portal as you set your intention from both ways. Good. When I'm going to connect on a galactic scale, I go to where they are. I don't bring them here unless they want to come talk to me, they come. So imagine yourself opening up that portal and you're stepping inside into the meeting room, into the space that you share. Many of us view this as like a meeting space with a big round table. I hear a lot. I see it always as a big round table in a big white space room. It's like a big white sphere inside is the room. That's how I view it. Let it be what is yours, how you view it. There is no right way. Maybe it's a feeling space. Maybe it's just a consciousness space. Maybe it's the space between all things. Go step into that space and meet who's there, waiting for you to meet you. These are your teachers and guides, your greatest teachers and guides, because they're you on other reconnaissance missions. And you're bringing it all together. Receive from them. Share with them. Let the table be your forum, your platform. Very good. And remember, angelics, they're just galactics. They're archetypal consciousnesses of other galactic races, right? So you can meet anybody there. Let this be your meeting space of consciousness. Go ahead and stay there as long as you like. I love you guys, and I'll see you here tomorrow. Remember, if you want to keep going with this music, in this space, using this, I posted it in the group. See you tomorrow.